be sure to go to flipsidegaming.com and use promo code 6 for 10% off on orders over $10. It's a good deal, and it helps support the show. What is up, Planeswalkers? There's 6 back with some more Magic the Gathering Commander 2019 spoilers. I don't know if it's who cares? Who cares? Once again, I'm sponsored this entire week by Wizards of the Coast. Over there. I didn't realize I was flipped in my camera. How have I never realized that before? I've been doing this for how long? Whatever. Anyway, today is my day 2 of talking about the C19 cards. As I've said in the previous video, I will just be talking about the new cards that have been previewed, spoiled, whatever. And then I will also make a video once all of the decks have been shown about what I think about the decks overall, as well as what I think are some really awesome reprints that they decided to add, and what cards I think it was a shame to not include. So let's just jump right into it. Here we have Doomed Artisan. This is a 3-mana 1/1. Human Artificer. Sculptures you control can't attack or block. Now, that's hilarious. But what are sculptures? At the beginning of your upkeep, at the beginning of your end step, create a colorless sculpture artifact with this creature's power is equal toughness to sculptures. You get an army of things, okay, and they scale with each other. They can't attack or block. While he's on the battlefield. I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, while this card is on the battlefield, you cannot use your sculptures, because this doesn't say create a token that has this creature's power, toughness, yada yada yada, as well as this creature can't attack or block. The static ability of Doomed Artisan is what is making it so that your sculptures can't block. So eventually, if this dies, but you still have all of your sculptures, you can start attacking with them. And they're a horde of just sculptures. They're artifacts, for what that's worth. I'm sure there are some things that you can do with the fact that they're artifacts. And actually, the thing that I think is a little bit more interesting about this card is people have been trying to figure out what plane he's on, and who this might be. There's been some discussion about this being potentially Tezzeret, but if you'll notice, his flavor text says, "Remembering me not as I am, but as I should have been." So this person is obviously lamenting the fact that his arm is robotic, because if you look in the background of his art here, you'll see that he's sculpting himself with fully intact arms. So this is a person who doesn't like the fact that his arm is messed up. Additionally, you can notice that this doesn't really look like magical metal. This looks more like an actual prosthesis. It has these like rivets and things that make it look more realistic. In Tezzeret, even before he had the Ethereum, I believe his arm was just other metal. So pretty sure this is not Tezzeret. Also, Tezzeret has dreads and is darker than this. So we don't know who this is. I doubt we'll ever find out where this card's plane is. It's not even a legendary creature. It's just a creature. It's interesting. It's a 3-mana 1/1. I feel like the fact that it makes artifacts is more important than the actual tokens being potentially big. Like, the fact that they're tokens, I feel like doesn't matter as much as the fact that they're artifacts does. But I don't know. Commander's Insignia. 2 white for an enchantment creature you control. Get +1/+1 for each time you've cast your commander from the command zone this game. So obviously, like, you have to keep track of that, which is, you know, it's a known thing, but you just like put a counter on this or whatever. But I really like that they've continued the design of the Storm cycle of cards. Skullstorm. Look, that's the only one I can remember. Okay, Skullstorm, because I use it in Giza. That style of cards that care about the number of times you've cast your commander from the command zone. I really like that idea. Now, I will say that this does benefit these kind of cheaper commanders. But the thing about that is I think that's the correct thing to do. And the reason I say that is because the cheaper commanders are likely going to be ones that are playing aggressively, and they are likely going to be ones who would actually want an effect like this. So, I mean, just imagine like an Ishimaru deck where this is kind of a top-end card, right? You're just like, all right, well, I have a bunch of aggro cards. Maybe it's like a kind of Death and Taxes style thing where you play Ishimaru and Ishimaru dies a decent amount, but that's fine because it's a 1-mana card. So you can kind of get away with attacks, and you have a bunch of creatures. And eventually, you know, this being a +3/+3 to all of your creatures is pretty decent for 4 mana. Getting this up to like +5/+5 is pretty damn great. That said, that's a total tax. I mean, if like including every single time, it's fucking like 6 + 6 + 12 + 8 math is hard. 20 plus 10, so it's like 30 extra mana. Unless I did my math wrong, and I very well could have. That said, creatures you control get. This is probably best in a go wide token strategy or a white-based aggressive deck. And the aggressive deck doesn't have to be super wide, but it's something where you want your commander to be relatively cheap, but also just being able to give your sapling creatures, if you're playing this in a like Gave style deck. I'm not saying Gave precisely because of the fact that, well, most Gave decks I've seen are combo Gave, but still, if you're playing this in some sort of like token deck that wants to go very wide with a bunch of dorks, this helps out a decent bit. Tangarth, I think is how you pronounce that. First mate, this is a card from the OG Weatherlight Saga. He has a different card of him, which isn't linked around here, but essentially he was Captain Sisei's second hand. He was a cool Minotaur dude who I think like had to kill someone. No, he killed someone accidentally. Look, I don't know enough about Tarngarth. He was like, he's old school. I will say, fucking love his like weird green dreads. Anyway, 4 mana, 5/5. Already, that's a good card. That's totally good to me. I'm just calling him T. T can't be blocked by more than one creature. Okay, so that's fantastic. He just cannot be blocked by more than one creature. It means your opponent has to use a single creature to potentially kill this. They can't double up with a bunch of dorks or whatever. Whenever an opponent attacks with one or more creatures, if T is tapped, meaning you've used him to attack, you may have that opponent gain control of T until end of combat. If you do, choose a player or planeswalker that opponent is attacking. T is attacking that player or planeswalker. So let's say you're in a 4-player game, you have T, and you've just attacked someone. The person next to you decides to attack the person you attacked, as well as the 4th player. You could be like, all right, here's T, and T is actually going to go after the person I just attacked, just going to double up on the damage. And this can actually be a really interesting political tool. You can say, like, I attacked this person, and the person to your left is going to like only attack the 3rd person, or no, the 4th person in this case. And you're like, hey, if you would send one of those creatures over there, I'm going to put T attacking over there, and we can work out some sort of like deal, whatever. So I really like politics, as I've said several times. Politics in EDH I think is super fun. It makes the game more interactive than it already is. Sometimes it's not, which is why I paused. I mean, for what it's worth, it's a 4 mana 5/5. I'm probably not going to play it in my L because like this is just a Minotaur. Like it's not a god. It's not a big fuck off creature. But you know, just statistically speaking, it's a big fuck off creature. I love this card so much. Atla Palani, Nest Tender. I don't know if I said that right, but I think it's Atla Palani. 4 mana for a 2/3 human shaman. She is, of course, from Ixalan, and she's guarding some eggs. Feed me eggs. 2 in tap, create a 0/1 green egg creature with Defender. I mean, I wish it didn't give it Defender because it would just be funny to see an egg fucking like roll at someone to like crack. Whenever an egg you control dies, any egg, not just the egg tokens, any egg. If you have how many eggs are there? T egg. If for some reason you're playing any of these eggs, well, any of the, okay, that's not an egg. Any of these eggs. That's also not an egg. This is a lizard. What the fuck? Oh, it must have been changed to lizard egg. Oh, okay, cool. So, if you have any of those eggs, if they die, you also get to do this. Reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal a creature card. Put that card onto the battlefield and the rest on the bottom in any order. I love this card. I might put it in my L just because it's just another way to get beef value out of your deck. This works really well against board wipes. You know, if you have a couple big Chungai and then like 2 or 3 eggs, your opponent isn't going to want to blow up the board because you're going to be up on big Chungai, potentially. Because you can't miss, right? You just get them, you put them on the battlefield, and it's meme incarnate, and I love it. I love it so damn much. Also, it's not a terrible cost. You know, 4 mana for a 2/3, not great stats, but she's a card like Mael, like Gisa, who aren't going to be in the red zone, right? They're not going into combat. they are just sitting back, using their abilities, getting value, and I think she's really reasonable. Just at the end of everyone's turn, or if someone attacks you, right? If someone attacks you with something that you can block, like doesn't have flying or menace or whatever, you just make an egg before declare blocks, block it with the egg, and be like, all right, let's see what I get. Oh, look, it's a rage beast. Well, rage beast. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and kill your attacker. Get fucked. It's great. I love it. Oh my god, I just realized. Do this with any token doubler? Because she's in green and white. Fuck. Because you can play both Anointed Procession. Does Doubling Season work? I don't remember. I only ever used Doubling Season in Planeswalker deck, so I can't remember if that actually does anything with creature tokens. But Parallel Lives, all of that stuff. I love Mile too much, but I might just make a meme Atla deck for a little bit and just scrap it. But my god, like, I just love this card so much. Oh fuck! You could play a meme Eldrazi deck with this card. Just have like all of the creatures in your deck are a bunch of Eldrazi. Like all you have is like interaction, like ramp interaction, and that's like it. Protection for Atla, and then you just constantly get these big chunk guys. Of course, you're not gonna get the cast triggers, but still, I fucking love it. I love her. She's so cool. I have to put her in my L. At the very least, I have to put her in my L because it's fucking great. I'm also gonna probably try and make a token. Oh, and you can have creatures. You have creatures that ETB and make tokens like Armada Worm. Yes, yes. I love it too much. Full flowering. X green. Sorcery. Populate X times. Notably, you don't have to populate the same creature token every time. You can populate different creature tokens just in case you have some that are even. So for 5, so for 3, you're getting a copy of your best token, right? That's for 3 mana. That's fine, right? That is decent clone rate right there. I have no idea if the music is too loud or not. I'm just gonna keep rolling it down a little bit because I don't want it to be too loud. Anyway, so that's a fine rate. For 5 mana, you get 2 of the best. That's a really damn good rate. As long as you have some good stuff. Oh, I should note, if you have multiple creature tokens, this doesn't target, so you're not gonna like lose out on being able to populate something as long as you have more than 1 token. Obviously, if you only have 1 token and your opponents remove it in response, then you're gonna get no value. But 5 mana for 2, 7 mana for 3. It's just, it's good. I love this card. I love it so much. It's going to Creature Riku. You don't want this in a go wide strategy, which is what I like. I really do like that they're trying to make big creature tokens a bit more of a thing, because right now in EDH, go wide strategies are really, go super wide strategies are really what token decks I've seen are. So I really like this. Also, just fucking, I love the Selesnya elemental things that just have those weird face masks. They remind me of Ulamog. Marisi, Breaker of the Coil. Another fucking card I just love. This card, it's so cool. All right, 4 mana for a 5/4. Right there, that's damn good. Right, 4 mana for a 5/4, similar to Tangarth. I would theoretically put this into a mild deck if it weren't for the fact that it's like a normal person. Fucking big swole. Look at the size of this dude's hands. This is an absolute unit. Whenever your opponents can't cast spells during combat. So this is essentially just saying, like, no. As soon as I enter combat, you get no chance to do anything. No flashing in creatures, no settle the wreckage. There's no, just doing anything that would bother me. None. Stop. It's my combat. I'm attacking. Also, this happens on everyone's combat, not just your own. So, opponent over here wants to also do things. They can do anything. But the thing is, this is not symmetrical. You still get to cast spells during combat. And you alone. I love it. But that's not all. Whenever a creature you control deals damage to a player, go to each creature that player controls. Each one of them. Until your next turn, those creatures attack each combat, if able, and attack a player other than you, if able. So if you connect with this, you just force someone to swing over there, and you're like, hell yeah. Oh, bruh, Helm of the Host with this card, though. Oh, make everyone constantly attack each other? Fuck yes. It's memey, but I love it so much. Ah, I love these cards. This is a kind of different sort of Naya General. Obviously, you can just play this as like a, I'm just going to be aggressive here, get some value off of hitting someone, but I'm just going to literally be playing the best of the best efficient creatures in Naya colors, and you just attack, and you just like, opponents can't cast spells, cool, bite me. Or you can play this as a political card, and a lot of political decks do revolve around red and white, because a lot of those colors have a lot of the cards that force people to attack a certain way, force people to not be able to play certain cards. So adding the green in there, I think, is going to potentially make for some very interesting decks where you can just like play this annoying, not Kingmaker per se, because you obviously have a 5/4 and you can still easily win, but someone who's just like kind of manipulating how the battlefield looks, and I love it. I love it so much. Mass Diminish, 2-mana sorcery until your next turn. Creatures target player controls have base power and toughness of 1/1. Now, I like that this is a sorcery, right? So this is not something. So Sudden Spoiling, I think, is like the best version of this card, right? But I'm glad that they didn't step on Sudden Spoiling's toes. This isn't something that you can, in response to your opponents doing something, you're making it so that they're super small. This is preemptively, I need your creatures to be small, and they'll be small from my turn until your turn. This can also be a political tool where you're like, hey, I'm gonna make his creature smaller. Like I know you don't have a real board wipe since you're mono red, but if you have something that just deals a little bit of damage, I don't know what that would be, but still, you can use that. And Flashback is a reasonable cost at 4. Notably, this is all creatures, so that's cool. Notably, they don't lose their abilities, so you do need to keep that in mind. But they do become 1/1s, which is helpful. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. This is definitely not one of those cards I'm super excited about, but I like the way it is designed to not step on toes while still being good. Selesnya Eulogist. 3 mana for a Centaur Druid, 3/3. That is just like the Druid stats, or the Centaur stats. 3 mana for a 3/3. 3 mana. Exile target creature card from a graveyard, then populate. As I already said with the full flowering, I think, paying 3 to get the best card, the best creature token that you have, is fine. The fact that this is also stapled onto a graveyard exile is very nice. Obviously, this only hits creature cards, which sucks, because sometimes you're not going to have creature cards. But being able to do something like that repeatedly, this doesn't require taps. This is an instant speed, right? Being able to do that, have that option, I think is fantastic. I really like this card in general. The restriction of it being creature is a little frustrating, but the fact that it's not just from your graveyard, I think, is what makes this card actually fantastic, because it just can stop so many things, right? Graveyard strategies are super hot right now. No, they're so hot right now. I don't know. Just really nice card. Also the 3/3 and 3. Gotta love that stuff. Voice of Many. 4 mana for an Elf Druid, 3/3. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card for each opponent who controls fewer creatures than you. This is an Elf card. Quintessential Elf card. Elf decks, you're just trying to go wide. You're just like, oh, cool. Opponent has fewer creatures than me. I'm gonna draw 3. Now, I will say, if you only have one opponent who controls fewer creatures, 4 mana 3/3 draw card, not very good. With 2, it's fine. 4 mana 3/3, draw 2 cards. That's pretty good. It really gets better when you have 3. But it is an elf. Now, obviously, this also goes in like go wide token strategies, but I think this is better in a dedicated elf deck because you're going to be playing a large swath of those anyway. You're going to have a lot of creatures out, and you're going to want to continue drawing. So I think Voice of Many is best in elf strategy. I wonder if there's Druid Tribal. Probably. Yeah, I don't see why not. That said, this card is very obviously not for me because I don't go wide, I go big. I go hard, as the kids say. Orin Frostfang. 5 mana for a Snow Snake. Yes, 2/6. Attacking creatures you control have Death Touch. All of them. All of them. All of them. You can play with a bunch of Weenie Hut Jr. saplings, and you're just like, oh, by the way, they have Death Touch, so have fun losing all of your creatures. Bite me. Well, I guess I'll be the one doing the biting. Whenever a creature you control deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. So your opponents are damned if they do, damned if they don't. It's like, all right, I'm going to be sending a 6 damage at you, all 1/1s, 5 damage at you, all 1/1s, and 2 damage at you, all 1/1s. I'm only sending 2 at you because, you know, you're kind of mana screwed, so I don't want to be too mean. So which of your big 6 mana creatures are you going to block with? None? All right, I'll be drawing a lot of cards because it's not when one or more creatures, it's whenever a creature, including this, and it's a 2/6. It is a decent butt for this kind of ability, and I fucking love it. Now, notably, this is only attacking. So on defense, your creatures ain't shit. Also, this does not innately have Death Touch, which is important to know because 2/6 kind of seems like a blocking stat line, but it's not. It's actually it's an attacking stat line to make sure that you can keep attacking. Tectonic Hellion, 7 mana. This better be good. Haste. Okay. 8/5. Okay. Whenever it attacks, each player who controls the most lands sacrifices 2 lands. I fucking love this card. The video later today, because I'm going to post this at midnight, the video later today, on Thursday, spoiler alert, is going to be a land destruction deck. And I really like land destruction. And the reason I really like land destruction is because EDH, I really hate when people just go turn 1, ramp, 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 ramp. Oh, look, it's turn 6. You've done nothing but ramp, and I've been trying to interact with the board. I hate it so much. It just feels like you guys are just doing things on your own. No interaction. I'm playing EDH because I want a bunch of cool interactions, you know? And this just says, Q. And it's not just... It's each player. So if all of your opponents did the same boring green shit, you're just like, oh, cool. Well, both of you turn 2 Farseek. Okay, then you both turn 3... I don't know. Cultivate? Sure. Turn 4, both of you went. You Sky Shroud Claim. Huh. Interesting. Well, I'm going to attack you with this giant golf creature. And you're going to get hurt. For what it's worth, it is symmetrical. And I actually prefer that it's symmetrical. Because it means that you can't just be that person who ramps up yourself, then plays it. Oh my god, I can put this in my L. I don't know if I have any Hellions in my L, but I might make an exception for this card. Because it has haste, which is fantastic. It has 8 power, which is doubly fantastic. And it just, like, blows up people's lands. It doesn't even destroy them. It forces them to sack. It's like, hey, you can't save your lands, but you have to sack them. I love it. I love cards that punish people for not interacting. Maybe I'm a bad EDH player. And last for today, Song of the World Soul. I am most excited about this fucking card. 6 mana for an enchantment. Whenever you cast a spell, populate. This is very similar to Inexorable Tide, which is whenever you cast a spell, proliferate. This is the populate version of that, and it costs 1 more. I guess I'm fine with that. Because if you can get 2 of these triggers, as I said, for 3 mana, I think that's reasonable. So getting 2 of these triggers means that you've essentially paid for it. Obviously, that supposes that you have good creature tokens, but I just love this card. And the reason I love this card is because I have a seldom used Daxos the Returned EDH deck. And this means, because with Daxos the Returned, you make a bunch of star enchantment creature tokens. In this, whenever I cast more enchantment spells, I get to make more of them. They make all of them bigger. And this itself is an enchantment. I love it so fucking much. It's fun. It's fun, and I love it. And this is another reason why I feel like I really want to make a big token deck. Oh, maybe, Big token deck. So I definitely would want green. Definitely would want white. Definitely want green and white. Maybe I use a 4-color commander. Maybe I do green, white, black, red? I'm not sure. Go big. I'm gonna look at all of the creature token makers that make big cards in all the colors. I do that a lot. I literally just advanced search something on Scryfall and just look at all of those things and say, are there a sufficient number here to make a deck? Yes, no, and then I do that. I don't know why I hate myself, but I do. I don't hate myself, shut up. I absolutely love this card. Also, Matt Selesnya is awesome. She is she I don't remember. Is like the soul of Selesnya. Selesnya's cool. Man, I'm really excited about this commander set. I think so far they've done a really good job. She's so cool. I'm just legitimately excited about this commander set. And I wasn't really about the last one. I can't even remember C18. Who were the commanders from C18? I legit have no idea. I mean, I assume most of you have clicked off by now, but I'm really interested in what the heck. I'm on the internet. Why the fuck am I? I just find this to be rude. Alright, never mind. Apparently I'm just going to end the video here, and I'm going to personally look up to see what the heck C18 commanders were. Yeah, I'm just gonna move over here to the patron screen and thank my lovely patrons. If you'd like to join them, you can find links to that down in the description below, or you can just go ahead and press that join button, become a channel member today. Yeah, just look in the description. There's cool stuff. I've been blathering on too damn far. Hope you enjoyed this. If you did, go and tap that like button, add a subscription to your mana pool, cast a comment in the comment section down below, pass the turn and the vid to some of your friends, and of course, until next time, I will be one.